This is Parto Genesis Love with a video about the Dharmachakra. Buddhism, one of the world's oldest and most profound spiritual traditions, emphasizes the path to enlightenment through understanding, meditation, and the practice of virtuous living. The teachings of the Buddha have influenced diverse cultures and shaped many philosophical, ethical, and spiritual concepts. One of the most iconic symbols in Buddhism is the Dharmachakra, or the Wheel of Dharma, which represents the teachings of Buddha and the path to enlightenment. This video will explore the symbolism and significance of the Dharmachakra, examining its origins in Buddhist teachings, its components, and its deeper spiritual and cosmic implications. Buddhism began in ancient India with the life and teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, who later became known as the Buddha. Born around 563 BCE, Siddhartha was a prince who renounced his privileged life to seek the truth about human suffering. After years of intense meditation and contemplation, he achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, gaining insight into the nature of suffering and the way to overcome it. Central to Buddhism are the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, which guide practitioners towards the cessation of suffering, known as dukkha, and the attainment of nirvana. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is to transcend the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, known as samsara, by following the path of wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Now, Buddha's first sermon, delivered at Sarnath, marked the beginning of his public teaching. This sermon is often referred to as the setting in motion of the Wheel of Dharma. In this sermon, the Buddha introduced his core teachings, the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path. The Buddha's discourse established the foundation for what would become the Buddhist path to liberation. The term Dharma, which refers to the cosmic law and order, came to represent the Buddha's teachings and the ethical code that guides followers on their journey towards enlightenment. Dharma provides the moral and philosophical framework for understanding the nature of reality, offering a guide to how one should live in harmony with the universe, free from the attachments and sufferings that characterize the typical human condition. So, what about the Dharmachakra? The Dharmachakra, or Wheel of Dharma, is one of the most recognizable symbols in Buddhism, representing the Buddha's teachings and the journey towards enlightenment. The wheel symbolizes the cyclical nature of existence, with its constant turning representing the ongoing cycle of samsara, the birth, death, and rebirth cycle that all sentient beings are subject to. The turning of the wheel also signifies the Buddha's ability to set in motion the teachings of Dharma, which, once understood and followed, lead to the cessation of suffering. The circle represents the completeness of Buddha's teachings and the unity of all aspects of existence. The Dharmachakra serves as a reminder of the path to liberation, emphasizing the importance of ethical conduct, wisdom, as well as meditation. So, what about the eight spokes of the wheel, wisdom, truth, cosmic law, and the perfection of the Buddhist teachings? The Dharmachakra features eight spokes, each representing one of the principles in the Eightfold Path, which is the Buddha's practical guide to ending suffering and attaining enlightenment. These eight spokes symbolize various virtues that must be cultivated in order to follow the path correctly. They include the right view, wisdom, right intention, ethical conduct, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and the right concentration, which is mental discipline. Collectively, these eight spokes represent the holistic nature of Buddhist teachings, covering the realms of wisdom, ethical behavior, mental development, and spiritual practice. The wheel, with its eight spokes, thus represents the perfection of the Buddhist teachings and the cosmic law that governs all things. What about the three swirls in the center of the wheel, which we would call Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? In the center of the Dharmachakra, there are three swirls or circles, often interpreted to represent the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha represents the enlightened teacher who shows the way, while the Dharma is the Buddhist teachings, which provide the path to liberation. The Sangha, on the other hand, is the community of Buddhist practitioners, which serves as a support system for those on the path to enlightenment. These three aspects, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, are known as the three jewels or triple gem of Buddhism. They are central to the practice of the faith, and taking refuge in these three elements is the cornerstone of Buddhist devotion. Now, there's also some solar symbolism that's involved in here as well. So, the symbolism of the wheel in Buddhism also carries solar connotations. The wheel is often associated with the sun and the god Surya, represents light, power, and knowledge in Vedic traditions. In Buddhist thought, the wheel represents the illumination of the mind, shedding light on the true nature of reality. The word katsku, which means eye in Sanskrit, is sometimes used in Buddhist texts to describe the eye of wisdom or the eye of Dharma. This reference ties the symbol of the wheel to the idea of enlightenment, suggesting that just as how the sun illuminates the world, so too does the Dharma illuminate the path to liberation. The solar symbolism of the wheel emphasizes the transformative power of wisdom and the understanding in dispelling ignorance and suffering by bringing the truth to light. Now, the wheel can also be seen as an attribute of Vishnu, and it could be associated with light and knowledge as well. The wheel is an important symbol in Hinduism where it's associated with the god Vishnu. In Hindu iconography, Vishnu is often depicted as holding a discus, known as the Sudarshana chakra, which is a weapon representing cosmic force, power, protection, and the force of time. The symbolism in the wheel is both Hinduistic as well as Buddhist, and it is relative to the pursuit of knowledge. The wheel's association with light is also prominent because it symbolizes the dispelling of darkness, which is considered to be ignorance, and the illumination of the mind through Buddhist teachings. The wheel's role as a symbol of divine authority in both traditions links it to the broader concept of enlightenment as a force that brings clarity, understanding, and harmony to the universe. So now, does the wheel ever turn? Well, in Buddhist thought, the turning of the Dharmachakra is also connected to the concept of Chakravartin, the wheel turning king. This is an ideal ruler who embodies wisdom, virtue, and compassion, and who governs in harmony with Dharma. The Chakravartin is a figure not only who rules a kingdom with justice, but also works to promote the welfare and spiritual progress of all beings. In some Buddhist texts, the Chakravartin is depicted as a ruler whose reign is symbolized by the turning of the wheel, reflecting the principles of righteousness and cosmic law. This connection between the wheel and kingship suggests that the Dharma has a universal scope, extending well beyond individual spiritual practice to encompass the governance of the world at large and the well being of society as a whole. In conclusion, the Dharmachakra, or Wheel of Dharma, is a powerful symbol in Buddhism that encapsulates the teachings of the Buddha and the path to enlightenment. Through its 8 spokes, it represents the essential principles of the Eightfold Path, guiding practitioners towards wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. The center of the wheel, with its depiction of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, emphasizes the core elements of Buddhist practice. The wheel's solar and cosmic symbolism ties it to the broader spiritual traditions of India, connecting it to the light, knowledge, and cosmic order. Ultimately, the turning of the wheel represents the transformative power of the Dharma, which can bring liberation and enlightenment to individuals and the world alike, creating a vision of harmony, truth, and universal justice. If you like this message, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome aboard. It's a safe space. If you're returning, I love you so much. I'm glad that you're back. In the name of the Most High God, I wish you health, wealth, prosperity, and abundance, blessings and protection if you so deserve it. Woodman signing off. Have a wonderful and great day.